It's time to get real with Eddie, here to help you understand the changing real estate market and meet your real estate goals. Over 19 years in the business, 2018 Realtor of the Year, current president of Three Rivers, director at the Illinois Association of Realtors, and team lead of the Ruettiger Group at Baird and Warner. Here's Eddie Ruettiger.
It's Tuesday at noon. It's time to get real with Eddie, and we are here in studio talking real estate, and none other than with me is Nancy Valley from the Ruettiger Group at Baird and Warner. Nancy, how are you, and how was your weekend? You took it off.
I did, and hello, Ed, and Karen. I had a wonderful weekend. I went to Galena with my husband, and we just hung out and had some fun.
And a happy birthday to your husband also.
Thank
That
you.
was the reason. I can't pick on you at all because we flip-flopped. I had the weekend before off. So it was nice. It was definitely nice that I took that holiday weekend off. We really didn't talk about it too much last week. But, and with us from Key Mortgage with a big announcement. Our Vice President, Karen Walsh, and someone's going to be adding to the family, I saw on Facebook.
Oh, yes. I got a new granddaughter coming. Thank you for noticing.
Yes. So
excited.
how far along are they?
They're due November 24th. So what does that make them, about 4.5 months?
I don't know. After the weekends, I right now with this market, I can't do math anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just saying by Monday and Tuesday, my mind can't do math. I have to wait until Wednesday to start doing math.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks, Eddie, for sure.
I know. NMLS number is
631443.
because we want to be all legal here on Get Real with Eddie. Just want to give a shout out to last week. I didn't say anything, but I had to get some car work done while we're trying to run out of town and come back into town and all this other stuff. And we do have a listener, Colleen, one of the Uber drivers, had us on, and had 1340 WJOL on, and I turned around and I said, hey, I like that station. She goes, why is that? I said, I get to go play on it. And she's like, wait, what's your name? I go, Eddie. And she goes, oh yeah, you're the real estate guy. So that was pretty cool.
Oh,
So
that's cool.
little shout out. We do have tons of people out there listening, and it was kind of cool to actually jump in the car and see us on. So,
Cool.
hey, it is Homeowner Appreciation Month. And we have, there's 6 reasons to celebrate National Homeownership Month. So let's take a gander at this. Karen, let's give me some non-financial benefits that we got in this article.
Some non-financial benefits are community, being pride of ownership and pride in your community, which is everybody wants to take pride in where they live, Eddie. Participation, a safe space, a place to call your own.
Yeah, I mean, these are the big things. This kind of ties in with that whole concept we talk about, where kids do better in school when they're in a home that's owned versus rented. That civic participation, people are more tended to get involved and put those roots down in their communities and in their areas. In their HOA. You've seen that with your clients, Nancy, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and just in the neighborhood in general, you help your neighbors out, or things are going
right.
on. You're
You
more
look at-
invested because you own.
Right, and you look after each other, and it's everybody has
Right.
you want everybody to be on the same page, and it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
It is a great feeling, that home ownership. The financial benefits, however, are the ones I always lean towards, just because that's the tangible asset that I can actually help my clients, gain and accrue and set them up for success financially. And give me those financial benefits, Nance.
Financial forced savings. You're building equity. You're putting money away, even though you're paying your mortgage. It's going out of your pocket, but it's going into a different pocket, which is really important. Your home is appreciating. The equity in it is an investment that keeps accruing equity. And stability. You have more control over future house payments. You know what your 30-year fixed payment is going to be for the next 30 years. So makes a big difference.
Yeah, the stability factor makes a big difference. And then you look in this market, the financial benefits. I mean, for those that bought in 2012 and 2013, I mean, we're seeing the average equity in a property is $250,000, and that's with one that has a mortgage right now. You're really seeing the benefits of home ownership really coming to fruition and moving forward right now in this market. So definitely some great things. I wanted to jump over because I don't have stuff in order today. I wanted to take a look. MRED came out with their weekly snapshot. So for all those that are listening, MRED stands for Midwest Real Estate Data. This is our MLS. The MLS that if you're listing a property or you're going in and searching for stuff, and all those other websites are pulling data from the MLS to put on their site, you should be really going to your broker's website to look at the data. It's the best place usually to go, not these third-party sites. But they took a quick snapshot, and there's been a conversation still ongoing in our office. And I'm starting to change. I'm starting to change my mind. Are you guys not seeing that screen?
No.
All right, hold on a second. Let me flip over. So anyways, I'm starting to...
Beautiful. Thank you.
Nice.
I'm starting to change my mind on this concept. The conversation in our at Baird and Warner in Plainfield is that this is not an inventory shortage. This is a buyer tsunami.
I agree with you.
So this is not mine. I'll give credit where credit is due, and that is Steve Engel, my managing broker. This is his. He's been looking at this, and he's got me convinced now. And MRED released this data, and if you look at the data, going back to March 15th, all right, and you look at March 22nd of last year. So March 22nd of last year, that week, there was 4,565 new listings throughout all of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
This year, 6,601. Following week, 4,700 roughly. This year, 6,900.
Mm-hmm.
Following week, April, 4,400. This year, 7,578. I have to be honest at this point. Yes, we're going to have numbers coming up for Plainfield in a little bit. This is a buyer tsunami. This is not an issue of not having enough inventory. The data is now starting to catch up to support this concept and support this aspect. You're going to have a lot of people still out there talking about the fact, oh, we don't have enough homes. It's a listing shortage. No, it is not a listing shortage. We don't have enough listings, but we don't have enough listings because there's so many buyers in the market right now. And when you keep looking at the data, the reason why, the numbers are showing this, kind of a shortage in listings is because we're not through the March and April data points yet.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to that rolling 12 and those data points are thrown out because of the loss of listings, when the virus broke last year, I think you're going to start seeing that rolling 12 average of new listings popping up big time. And you look at the numbers here, it justifies it. So let me explain something. All right. So it started coming back. We're going to look at last year's numbers first. All right, so we left off at April 5th. April 12th last year, 4,700. April 19th, 5,100. So it's starting to come up. April 26th, 5,900. May 3rd, all right, we break 6,000. 6,395 to be exact on that month, almost 64. May 10th, 64 and change. May 17th, 65 and change. End of May. All right, May, let's finish it off. May 24th, 65, 42. And then May 31st of last year. These are all last year numbers of new listings, and this is excluding the private network stuff. There's still stuff in the, what we call the, agents will call the private network. If you're a normal consumer, think of it as the coming soon. These are properties that don't go to those third-party sites. You don't see them out there. They're the coming soon. May 31st last year, this is when the market finally go, oh, no, this isn't affecting real estate. I'm going to sell my house. 8,007 units listed that week. Now, when you compare it to this year, all right, starting when the market dripped, and let's say March 22nd. Well, actually, March 15th is when it went down. 6,700 this year. March 22nd this year, 6,600. March 29th, 6,900. April 5th, 7,500. April 12th, 7,500. And there's like 75s. These are just approximations. I'm kind of just dropping the end units. April 19th, 7,100. April 26th, 7,600. May 3rd, 7,700. May 10th, 7,700. And this is the week of. So from like the 10th to the 16th is what we're talking. Everything after the 10th. May 17th, 7,923. May 24th, now this is going into the holiday weekend, so 6,959 even going into the holiday weekend. And then May 31st, 8,119 units. You're looking at a consistency of March was averaging around 47, 48 last year. This year we're averaging about 65, almost 2,000 more units. When you look at May of last year, we're probably getting about, let's look at April. We were probably around 5,000-ish, about, I'd say 52. April went, May last year went from like 47, and then it finished off at like 59. So you'd probably average about 4,500 new listings a month for all of Chicagoland. All right, all. And Embred Care covers almost out to DeKalb, all the way to Wisconsin border, all the way into Wisconsin, into Indiana a little bit, that you can have those listings, and all the way down to Bloomington on the south side. So, Kankakee, all of this. So it's a huge, and I get it's a huge territory, but this shows the pattern that we're averaging anywhere, I think, 1,000 to 1,500 more listings a month, a week this year than we did last year. It is a buyer tsunami out there right now. It really is. What are you guys seeing on, Nancy, what are you seeing with your clients right now?
I am seeing a buyer tsunami. I am seeing a lot of offers on per property, at least minimum 8 offers. People frantically trying to get into homes, to see them even. 15-minute appointments, all that stuff. It's definitely a lot of buyers out there. Just a lot. So I see a slight slowdown.
You were telling me you had a buyer that lost an offer on a condo, and the agent disclosed number of offers.
Yes, they did disclose
How many offers
50
on one property?
on one property. 50.
And that's not unheard of, I'm hearing that too, but,
Yeah.
however, how long ago was that, Nancy?
We just lost the offer
This weekend.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday, okay.
Yeah.
So I had a couple offers written over the weekend too, for people that I had pre-approvals on.
Mhm.
One we've heard back did not get it. One we should know today they were calling for highest and best. My buyers were not willing to go up any higher than their original offer. But talking with people that are on their listings are starting to go back on the market from financing falling through.
Well, that's where it comes into key.
Yeah.
Because what have I taught the whole team to do at the Ruettiger Group when it comes to getting an offer, Nancy?
Highest isn't necessarily best.
Rule number 1. And what's the first thing you do when you get an offer?
Vet that offer.
And that's, I think, the problem. I think that's the difference between getting a inexpensive way to sell your property and getting a professional.
Correct.
Is I know how to vet lending. I know how to shake that tree. My team knows how to shake that tree loose and make sure that, okay, yes, this is a truly qualified offer. I had an offer that came in last week. It wasn't they had a pre-approval. Well, and the agent's like, I don't understand. This is the same. I go, your pre-approval is, I actually told them, I said, the pre-approval I can keep handy for when we run back out of toilet paper again. Because all they did was run credit. That was it. The bank had only ran credit.
No collection of documents.
No document collection.
No automated underwriting.
They had automated underwriting, but no one had reviewed. Then I pushed them. They got the documentation. Okay, but no one had reviewed the documentation. So automated underwriting was useless because they basically just made up the numbers and stuck it into auto underwriting. Now, we pushed and pushed and finally got a true pre-approval, but we didn't accept that offer. And we didn't do anything with that until we knew that lending was solid. And that's the difference right now in this market. When you're seeing how many, what would you say on a percentage of deals falling apart because of financing?
From talking with different agents, there seems to probably be maybe like 2 out of 10 right now, 2 to 3 out of 10 falling apart, going back on the market. A lot of houses going back on the market.
So 20%.
20 to 30%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's a lot of houses to be going back on a market.
You know, and part of the problem is too, agents don't want to look at FHA financing, which is a great tool. With guidelines getting stricter with, conventional financing, and, we're trying to push these people, they're going in above asking.
I want to hold your thought on the FHA because we couldn't find an article to support it. Let's turn around. I want to do numbers on Plainfield, and let's come back and talk to FHA after the break. But before we hit to the break here, and the numbers are starting to reflect what we're talking about on a buyer tsunami, okay? Now, granted, these are skewed numbers because April was pretty much that COVID month. Month over month, Plainfield is up 41.4% in new listings. We took 145 last year, 205 this year. 178 under contract this year, up 57.5. Last year it was 113. Closings are actually down 1.7%. We had 120, 118. That was because I think the delay that was going on, because a lot of people put brakes on a lot of different stuff because we didn't know. Yet, month over month, the median sales price in Plainfield is $382,500, up 17.1%. Percent of original list price received, 102.1, up 4.9%. It's outstanding. Now, here's the number I'm going to be watching. I want to see where it's at next month because we still don't have May numbers. I know we're in June, but you got to keep understand that they have to tally these numbers. They have to compile them. They have release dates because this is numbers that are released for the stock market and things like that. So this data, I've been at sessions with Lauren Soon before, who's the chief economist for NAR. He goes, things are looking better. I can't tell you yet, but they're looking better. And I can't tell you why until like tomorrow, because he's under certain things that he can't do and can't release. But new listings are still showing down 14.4% and the trailing 12 months. And that's where I want to see that fall off of April and see where we're at. Trailing 12 months, median sales price 305, up 9.3%. Average sales price 325,611, up 8.9%. I mean, and the story's on the attached too. It's about the same. You're looking at a 24.2% increase in new listings month over month. 33 last year, 41 this year. They're getting 102% of asking original list price. Median sales price is 206.5, up 14.7. Average sales price is 10.7. This is month over month, trailing 12. Still down in new listings, 11.9%. Under contract is up 22.4%. Closings are up 6.6%. The median sales price is 7.5%, and the average sales price, or the median sales price is 200,000. The average sales price is 208, 158, and that is 6.1%. So the numbers are outstanding. In Plainfield, ending the month of April, all right, we had 120 houses, whether it was attached or detached, to move into. You had 120 units at the end of April to buy, and that was it. So 104 on the single family side. Average market time was 38 days. 8 days.
8 days. Average market time on attached. 8 days.
That's crazy.
It's insanity.
Well, and I think you're seeing. I saw this before. I'm old enough to remember that.
I'm definitely not old enough.
Not in the business sense. Not in the business sense, my dear. We saw this happen for families and individuals when the buy-up was happening in 04, 05, 06. They could not find what they wanted in the area in a single family, and they started turning to the attached properties. So like your 2 bedrooms, especially your 3-bedroom condos or 3-bedroom townhouses. I was talking to my mom. My mom bought a 3-bedroom townhouse, and she, this was a freshman in high school.
A long time ago.
Yeah, that was a long time ago. So I
Galaxy,
want to say 92. All right. So, but she found a 3-bedroom townhouse with a finished basement.
Wow.
And for having 3 kids, it was perfect. My middle sister drew the short straw. She had a room up with the youngest sister. So those that know my youngest sister will understand why my sister got the short straw. But yeah, it was those 3 bedrooms on the attached, and it had a yard too on this one. So it was a great option, where a lot of condos stuff nowadays, they don't give you your own yard unless you're going duplex side. So we kind of had a fenced in yard. So, all right, we're going to hit the break here. And when we come back, we're going to continue on with that FHA discussion Karen brought up, because there's some things we're starting to notice and starting to see. So stick it here on Get Real with Eddie, and we'll be back after this. It's Get Real with Eddie, and if you need information on buying or selling your house, or want to make sure you get a real estate agent that knows how to vet those offers and that lending, give Nancy a call from the Ruettiger Group. Nancy, where can they reach you at?
They can reach me at 815-545-1162.
You can always call me also at 815-823-LIST. That's at list, L-I-S-T, 815-823-LIST. All right. So I've had FHA buyers. Nancy's had FHA buyers. trying to get an FHA buyer approved is like trying to carry a cup of water through a tornado right now.
But wait a minute, when you say approved, you mean approved?
An offer accepted.
After accepted.
Accepted,
Yeah.
right, that's what you're meaning by that, not by approval on a mortgage.
No, they can get approval on the mortgage and they can get qualified on the mortgage. That's not the problem. The problem is the
listing agents don't want to look at
No.
FHA offers, and that's kind of
well,
not
and they're advising their clients for what's in their best interest. Let's be honest, all right? The more money someone has down, the more skin they have in the game, the better the quality of the offer. Okay, that's and a lot of FHA offers are not necessarily that. Now, I did have an FHA offer that did get approved or accepted. I'm sorry, we're confusing the verbs here, but it was 20% down. So, that was an option, and that so far so good. Where we're seeing issues and we're seeing the things is that you've got FHA buyers that are qualified good buyers. They're good buyers. They're going to close. But yeah, they're not getting, the offers aren't getting accepted because we got cash offers out there, first off. You've got conventional offers that are 5, 10, 15, 20 down. You know, and I think there's still this fear with FHA because there is a health and safety component to the appraisal that, well, we're not gonna deal with that because we don't want to make repairs. But the majority of houses that are out there don't need repairs. And those that do need repairs, there's a health and safety component people need to remember to conventional offer. Might not be as severe as FHA. Like a torn screen is an FHA issue. That is not a conventional issue. But there's some other issues out there, you know, if you have no flooring, you know, and you're at the subfloor, even some conventional loans will not take that. Now, you've been seeing some verbiage coming on the mortgage side. So let's talk about the FHA, that they want to see more FHA loans getting approved, apparently.
So it seems like some of our first-time home buyer products with conventional loans, meaning Freddie and Fannie, Home Possible, and the Dreammaker, have tightened up some of their guidelines, where we're not seeing as many approvals as we once were. I mean, that was our go-to. You compare, you know, why wouldn't you go conventional with that product, doing 3 to 5% down versus an FHA? But they're getting stricter on their guidelines and their credit and their, you know, it's just been tougher to get those deals through.
I think the what they're looking at is they're buying up most of the mortgages right now in the secondary market is Freddie and Fannie. And for those that are out there and paying attention, Freddie and Fannie are making a lot of money for the government. All right? So Freddie and Fannie were bailed out and became GSEs, okay? That's government
Secured equities.
Okay, thank you. I was trying to remember the abbreviations. So basically, the federal government doesn't own them, but they have an interest in them. And they've been doing sweeps from the Freddie and Fannie fund, I want to say around $90 million a year.
Yes.
All right.
So.
They only bailed them out for, I think, 75, and that was in 2009. I want to say it was around 75 million. So needless to say, Freddie and Fannie have paid back tenfold of what was owed to the federal government. But I think that's part of it. They don't want to see Freddie and Fannie collapse again. But so they're making those entities, because they're buying up most of the mortgages from what I see in the secondary market.
Right. I think what they're trying to do is maybe balance the bucket, balance the funds.
What, high risk versus low risk?
Yeah. maybe, at one point FHA portfolios with those, minimum downs didn't do so well. Maybe there's a trend where these products, maybe the trend is that they're not doing as well. Maybe that's the, I think forbearance is down to like the 4% mark. Maybe those are the ones sitting in forbearance.
Forbearance, I think, is, last I saw, was like 2 million units.
It was down to like 3 or 4%, and I know it keeps declining.
I don't think it's that high. I don't think it's 3 or 4%. I think that's also taking in foreclosures and lates and some other aspects to that, because we've talked about the forbearance, and we had the numbers just recently. I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but it was like 2.2 million units are left in the forbearance market right now.
So below 3%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know they continue to decline. It doesn't seem like it's the topic that comes up in my daily feed. So those numbers, you could be right. So probably.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting scenario. I from someone that is old enough to remember. Thank you, Nancy. Going through the Great Recession as a realtor, it wasn't FHA that had the problem. I mean, there was more problems with other products. It wasn't initially FHA. FHA actually started stumbling into issues and problems as the whole financial sector started to collapse, and then people started getting laid off, and then they just didn't have a job. But it wasn't FHA products that were bad. It was because the market and the economy itself collapsed, and that caused that spiraling roll. But still, there was still more 20% down programs that had, I think, more foreclosures than FHA.
Well, we probably should go back and look at some of those numbers. It'll be interesting to see, again, as these numbers start to come out, we come out of this COVID trend.
You think you can get that data? It's out there. It'd just be hard to find it. Yeah, if you can find it, I'd love to look at that.
The other thing I'd like to see too is data. I know in our little micro market, you and I are experiencing where our buyers are not getting FHA offers accepted. I'd like to know if that's a national issue right now.
Oh yeah, it is.
And how it's going to affect FHA programs.
Well, I think we need to educate. Us as lenders need to educate.
I don't think education is going to be the issue.
No.
I think it's until they can come up with a stronger way of making that offer to be able to be at a level
competing with
those
with the more money
loans.
down. And,
yeah. If I got to go in and you've got an FHA offer and you've got a conventional offer, the FHA inspection is still, or it's not an inspection, it is a health and safety appraisal.
Correct.
So they're looking at health and safety issues. That is still there, and that is still a component of that element. And with that and the fact that, if I have a 20% down buyer, okay, and there's something arises, let's just say it's an appraisal issue, okay? In this market, the buyer may be able to, that has the 20% down, just, I'll pay cash for the difference and I'll still give you that, but with their loan amount's going to go down. Odds are an FHA buyer that's only has 3.5% down
can't meet that gap.
A lot of those buyers don't have that extra cash flow to be able to do that.
Correct.
And since they can't do that, that's the issue. If you've got more money available, there's more ways to fix a problem in a deal. So that's going to be the issue. All right, really quick here before we hit the next break. We're gonna let's hit this. If you're dreaming of a bigger home, why not buy now? So according to the April luxury market report of the Institute for Luxury Home Marketing, that's a new one. We haven't seen this one before. The Institute recently analyzed of sales in 2020 for homes over 5,000 square feet, supporting the continuing preference for larger homes. The analysis determined that there was a 17% increase in the number of 5,000 square foot homes sold when compared to the number of 2019 units sold. So it does look like those larger homes and that larger luxury market home is moving. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist for the National Association of Realtors, who I swear to God I'm going to get on the show one day. The market is pretty much everywhere and across all price points. The only area where there is significant inventory is in the 1 million plus homes. So the luxury market is where the inventory is at. I have people asking me all the time, locally, well, is there any part of the market that's not competitive? And my answer is usually, yeah, 750,000 and up. Because, I mean, while $1 million homes are great and gorgeous, I think when you're looking at our marketplace, our luxury market, I think, starts really around 600, 650.
I was just going to say, yeah.
The problem what I'm seeing, though, is even in the luxury market, in our marketplace, people are out there willing to pay that for the house, but they're not necessarily willing to pay the property taxes that are tied to those properties. So that's why you're seeing specific areas move forward in luxury aspects, and I'd have to run and do some cost analysis. I could probably do that in InfoSparks and see if we can pull some data and some information on the luxury market locally. We'll pull just Will County generally and see what comes up. Be interesting to look at. So see if we had an increase and stuff like that. All right, let's take a quick look at a new listing we've got. This is a new listing that is up on the market, and it does not have an offer on it yet.
Wow.
Wow.
Give it 10 minutes. No laughs. Come on, that was funny. Ba-dum-bum. All right, 23421 West Winston Avenue in Plainfield, Illinois, is a home formerly known as the 3-bedroom, but is now a large 2-bedroom. With my little Prince joke there in my listing.
Okay.
Yes, it is my listing. This is a 2-bedroom home with 2 baths. They did have 3 bedrooms, and it is now a 2-bedroom because they wanted to make one large master bedroom. My grandpa did this when I was a kid. He knocked down a wall to make grandma a bigger master bedroom. So the home has a fireplace. It has a large eating kitchen, wonderful cabinets, hardwood floors, stainless steel stove. Downstairs is rec room, den, laundry room. That's where the second bathroom is located. But the kicker on this, 1-car attached garage and a 3-car detached tandem garage. 3 cars you can fit in this tandem garage.
Nice.
So if you've got a boat or if you've got toys and stuff like that, and the garage door, they did it smart. They've got the garage door on both ends. So it opens out to the backyard, and there's still a shed, and it's a beautiful property. Definitely something to take a look at. In Plainfield School Districts, like I said, 23421 West Winston. Give us a call, 815-823-LIST or 815-823-5478 to check this out. And I think you'll definitely love this property. Definitely an option, in this market if you're looking for a way to pick up a house and make something functional for you. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to talk more about the fast pace the houses are selling across the United States here on Get Real with Eddie. It's Get Real with Eddie, and if you need information on financing your house, whether it's a purchase or a refi, give Karen Walsh a call at Key Mortgage.
Sorry, Eddie. 708-307-1301.
One more time.
708-307-1301.
All right, so homes are selling extremely fast across the country, and it is kind of a whirlwind pace. And as we talked I'm hoping to see the numbers come out soon for May, and I think it's going to support the concept that it is a tsunami of buyers. It's not a lack of inventory. It's just these extremely low rates. So when you're looking at average market time by state, the one thing that shocks me is Rhode Island, Vermont, and North Dakota. The average market time is up to 15 days. The rest of the entire country, with the exception of Alaska, is 15 to 30 days, and Alaska market time is 31 to 45 days. I did not think there was that much of a demand to move to these colder states, but apparently there is a huge demand to be in North Dakota.
Apparently. Who knew?
See,
Is it jobs? Is jobs driving the
I would definitely
housing
think
market?
I think the jobs are definitely driving the housing market in at least a few of these states. I can't talk to as an expert on all of these, but I think jobs drive everything, and job creation drives everything. That's one of the things that has helped Will County, Joliet, Plainfield, Shanahan, all of us. You know, these jobs that we have coming in, you know, I get it. Okay, some of them, they're warehouse jobs, and a lot of them are starting off at $15 to $17 an hour, but that's where they start.
But there's room for growth in those companies.
There's room for growth. There's room for education. I mean, Amazon gives a pretty intense package when it comes to, you know, schooling, when it comes to some healthcare benefits, you know, even for part-time. So those are some pretty outstanding things when you're looking at it. It really is interesting. 4 years ago, the average house spent 39 days on market. That was only 4 years ago. And we've been talking on this show for the last 4 years that we have an inventory shortage, that there was a problem. And now everybody's like on board. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, now it's not inventory. It's just the buyers in the market. There's that many. 2 years ago, homes were on the market for just 24 days. Today, the number has dropped to 17 days on average. So I think that number is going to continue to go low and lower as we look at the incoming data of what we're seeing in the market. All right. So what's motivating people? Because that is a big thing, I think, is what's their motivation. So according to the 2020 National Movers Study, for customers who cited COVID-19 as an influence on their move in 2020, the top reasons associated with COVID-19 were concerns of personal and family health and well-being, 60%, desires to be closer to family, 59%, 57% moved due to changes in employment status or work arrangement, including the ability to work remotely, and 53% desired a lifestyle change or improvement of quality of life. So that's one of the big things. I mean, we're seeing, you know, working from home, I think, is going to be the going trend for the next 3 to 4 years, 5 years probably. We've talked about on the show. I personally think you're going to start seeing that pendulum swing back, just because it's going to be hard for companies to maintain culture. I think if everybody's working at home and maintain production standards and production quality and production levels, at some point I think you'll have a diminishing return, and at some point that diminishing return will offset what they're gaining back and not renting space.
I see a hybrid form.
I see a hybrid too, Nancy,
gonna be a
because I think
hybrid.
there's pros and cons to both, and I think if we could find the right balance, which is not only good for employers, but good for employees.
And I agree with you all. I do. I do see us moving towards that hybrid model, and employees do look for that. But right now, a lot of them, I mean, there was the COVID study that came out. I saw 87% do not want to go back to work in the office. Now, it didn't say whether it was COVID related or not. It just said 87% of people do not want to go back to work in the office. So I do see it being hybrid aspects to it, you know, and in those individuals that have that type of job and job format, it's going to definitely open up. So The second reason too is the room for fitness and activities. A recent survey of 4,530 active adults, that's a big sample. And that's from 122 countries. Usually you see sample sizes on surveys around 1,200, but that's still a big sample. At-home fitness up 50%, personal trainer and nutrition up 48%, online fitness courses and classes and subscriptions are up 17%. So like with me, my neck's finally gotten better to a point. It's still not perfect, but I did start getting back into my at-home workouts that I used to do. And I don't want to promote anybody, but I have the app and the system I do is a killer workout. So it's we'll just say it has to do with a P and an X, and we'll leave it at that. So, but getting that physical activity back in, because I mean, with the scrambling and everything I was doing because of COVID and everything, I'll be honest, I did stop taking care of myself, and I think the neck was a recourse of that. So, number 3, and I'm looking for this answer. What is the third reason why people are moving, Nance?
Outdoor space.
Coming from the queen of an outdoor space. If you've seen Nancy's backyard, it is outstanding. Pergola, pool, brick patio. It is just outstanding.
Thanks.
So
We enjoy it.
yes, yeah,
Outdoors.
I enjoy it a lot. So does my little guy swimming in that pool, I'll be honest. So, all right, that wraps it up for us here at Get Real with Eddie. Stick around for ABC News.
Thanks for listening to Get Real with Eddie. Eddie Ruettiger is a realtor at Baird & Warner in Plainfield, license number 475141896. Managing broker Steve Engel. For more information on your neighborhood, call Eddie at 815-823-5478 or visit yourdwellings.com.